got involved in politics 25 years ago. I was just a mainline libertarian. And in my search for understanding the globalists and what their master plan was, I learned quite a lot. I learned what their master view is, what their end game is, what their cosmology stands for, what makes them tick. They are basically a predator class of parasites that feed on humanity and who have engineered humanity in the last 6,000 years to be dumbed down and servile and not to realize 1/100th of our true potential. But the more I study the globalist, the one world system cult, I realize they're not just after humanity. They're after the earth itself. They're after all the different ecosystems, the biospheres. That's why they claim they're the guardians of that. These are the deep truths. I hope you're listening. They claim they want to protect the earth. They want to protect the atmosphere. They want to protect the soil. They want to protect the plants and animals and creatures that live here. But they're the ones, in every case, radically pushing an agenda that destroys species, that destroys the environment, that irrevocably changes the genetic code of our planet. They are galactic vandals, mutilating this beautiful planet, our mother. And if you're going to be the group persecuting and prosecuting and assaulting the planet, God's creation, then you're going to pose as the guards of the keep, the kings of the castle, the men-at-arms, the saviors, so that you can carry out your work dismantling this planet, because this planet is a launch pad for our species, and they want to see us dead at birth, dead at conception. This planet and all its species and the human species, guardians of the earth, put here to be guardians of this planet, are infected with an anti-human disease. The globalists want to play God and overwrite all this incredible ancient genetic technology that was seeded here on this earth. All of us are guardians of this planet, and that's why the enemy sells us the idea of going along with their plan, submitting to their tyranny so that we could be good shepherds of this world, be good stewards, when they are the destroyers by every metric. They teach us to want to tax carbon and pay the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and the Al Gores and Bill Clintons and Barack Obamas of the world tens of billions of dollars a year to tax carbon, when the sun, water, carbon dioxide, and oxygen are the four energies or elements that cause life on this planet. They are assaulting carbon, the seed of everything. Just as important as light. Probably more important than water and oxygen. They attack the second most important element. These people are death. I've really sat back, not from some political view or even historical view, but from a deep understanding of our planet's ecosystems, and gone, these people are trying to kill the damn planet with their geoengineering and all of the things they're doing. They're trying to stop this planet from giving birth to something the Creator planned to come out of this system. I didn't read this in books. I didn't get this at college. I got this from studying the elite and what they're doing. Let me ask you a more simple question. Do you want this planet to die? Just being killed. Do you have any sense of kinship to this planet? Do you have a sense of kinship to your ancestors and your progeny to come? Do you realize that you are the experience of all those that came before you to now and forward? Bridging the future, the present, and the past. That magic is there in your hands right now. And our globe is being killed. We are being brought into a great tyranny. That's why every decent institution, every system of health, every system of love and independence and chivalry, like the the father, the mother, the child, the boy, the girl, the he, the she is under attack. Because the very life force of our species and this planet is in a war for survival. So I want to ask you a question. Do you realize that our evil leaders have produced more than 50,000 thermonuclear weapons? Do you realize those are weapons that they admitted they had back in the 40s, but were in mathematical equations 50 years before that? Do you realize they've got far more advanced weapons and technologies, and instead are looting this planet of its treasures, its minerals, and our human psyche, the greatest treasure, to build weapons for God knows what use by the genetically engineered developments taking place on this planet that are meant to merge in a blasphemy with the AI, artificially intelligent computer systems being developed by the elites on this planet, who they themselves believe are getting off-world direction in whatever it is they're building. This planet was organic, was slow to build, is beautiful, is strong, and has great potential, but instead has been hijacked. My gut, my spirit, my intellect at every level sees a military operation against humanity and the planet itself. We are here to protect this planet. And if you don't realize that and transcend the CNN, the Fox News of the world, and understand the real war that's going on, the enemy's going to win. I don't know all the answers. I don't have all the answers. All I know is everything good is under attack. Everything evil is being promoted. We have been given a psychological, cultural, weaponized virus to shut down and die. And while we're at it, kill the planet at the same time. I couldn't say I love humanity more than the planet, because humanity is part of this planet. And I don't want to see the enemy's dream come true, because it's a nightmare. You look at everything our elite do, they're not elite at all. They are wicked evildoers who are committed to domination of the life processes on this globe. They want to play God because they're not God. And so I want to encourage you on this Friday night, broadcasting worldwide. Here on Facebook Missions, we're going to post this to Instagram. We're going to post it to YouTube. We're going to post it to all the other platforms that are out there. I want to ask you, post it to all the platforms yourself as well. Because all I'm doing is here crying out against the dehumanization and the murder of this rock, this spaceship that we live on, by the mindset that is dominating our globe. Regardless of what you think of the people running things, they are bad news. They do not have our best interest at heart.
Ladies and gentlemen, please raise a glass for what is, by tradition, our only toast of the evening, to the President of the United States. Mr. President, the podium is yours.
Thank you, Carol. You can't say it, but you know it's true. Good evening, everybody. It is an honor to be here at my last, and perhaps the last, White House Correspondence Day. You all look great. The end of the Republic has never looked better. I do apologize. I know I was a little late tonight. I was running on CPT. Which stands for jokes that white people should not make. It's a tip for you, Jeff. Anyway, here we are. My 8th and final appearance at this unique event. And I am excited. If this material works well, I'm going to use it at Goldman Sachs next year. Earn me some serious Tubmans. That's right. That's right. My brilliant and beautiful wife, Michelle, is here tonight. She looks so happy to be here. That's called practice. It's like learning to do 3-minute planks. She makes it look easy now, but next year at this time, someone else will be standing here in this very spot, and it's anyone's guess who she will be. But standing here, I can't help but be reflective, a little sentimental. 8 years ago, I said it was time to change the tone of our politics. In hindsight, I clearly should have been more specific. Eight years ago, I was a young man, full of idealism and vigor. And look at me now. I am gray, grizzled, just counting down the days till my death panel. Hillary once questioned whether I'd be ready for a 3 a.m. phone call. Now I'm awake anyway because I got to go to the bathroom. I'm up. In fact, somebody recently said to me, Mr. President, you are so yesterday. Justin Trudeau has completely replaced you. He's so handsome, he's so charming. He's the future. And I said, Justin, just give it a rest. I resented that. Meanwhile, Michelle has not aged a day. The only way you can date her in photos is by looking at me. Take a look. Here we are in 2008. Here we are a few years later. And this one is from 2 weeks ago. So time passes. In just 6 short months, I will be officially a lame duck. Which means Congress now will flat out reject my authority. And Republican leaders won't take my phone calls. And this is going to take some getting used to. It's really going to, it's a curveball. I don't know what to do with it. Of course, in fact, 4 months now, congressional Republicans have been saying there are things I cannot do in my final year. Unfortunately, this dinner was not one of them. But on everything else, it's another story. And you know who you are, Republicans. In fact, I think we've got Republican Senators Tim Scott and Cory Gardner. They're in the House, which reminds me, Security, bar the doors. Judge Merrick Garland, come on out. We're going to do this right here, right now. It's like the Red Wedding. But it's not just Congress. Even some foreign leaders, they've been looking ahead, anticipating my departure. Last week, Prince George showed up to our meeting in his bathrobe. That was a slap in the face. A clear breach of protocol. Although while in England, I did have lunch with Her Majesty the Queen, took in a performance of Shakespeare, hit the links with David Cameron, just in case anybody is still debating whether I'm black enough. I think that settles the debate. I won't lie. Look, this is a tough transition. It's hard. Key staff are now starting to leave the White House. Even reporters have left me. Savannah Guthrie, she's left the White House press corps to host the Today Show. Norah O'Donnell left the briefing room to host CBS This Morning. Jake Tapper left journalism to join CNN. But the prospect of leaving the White House is a mixed bag. You might have heard that someone jumped the White House fence last week, but I have to give Secret Service credit. They found Michelle, brought her back. She's safe. She's safe back at home now. It's only 9 more months, baby. Settle down. And yet somehow, despite all this, despite the churn, in my final year, my approval ratings keep going up. The last time I was this high, I was trying to decide on my major. And here's the thing, I haven't really done anything differently. So it's odd. Even my aides can't explain the rising poll numbers. What has changed? Nobody can figure it out. Puzzling. Anyway, in this last year, I do have more appreciation for those who've been with me on this amazing ride. Like one of our finest public servants, Joe Biden. God bless him. Love that guy. I love Joe Biden. I really do. And I want to thank him for his friendship, for his counsel, for always giving it to me straight, for not shooting anybody in the face. Thank you, Joe. Also, I would be remiss, let's give it up for our host, Larry Wilmore. Also known as one of the two black guys who's not Jon Stewart. You're the South African guy, right? I love Larry. And his parents are here, who are from Evanston, which is a great town. I also would like to acknowledge some of the award-winning reporters that we have with us here tonight. Rachel McAdams, Mark Ruffalo, Leah Schreiber. Thank you all for everything that you've done. I'm just joking. As you know, Spotlight is a film, a movie, about investigative journalists with the resources and the autonomy to chase down the truth and hold the powerful accountable. Best fantasy film since Star Wars. Look, that was maybe a cheap shot. I understand the news business is tough these days. It keeps changing all the time. Every year at this dinner, somebody makes a joke about BuzzFeed, for example, changing the media landscape. And every year the Washington Post laughs a little bit less hard. It's kind of a silence there, especially at the Washington Post table. GOP Chairman Reince Priebus is here as well. Glad to see that you feel that you've earned a night off. Congratulations on all your success. The Republican Party, the nomination process, it's all going great. Keep it up. Kendall Jenner is also here, and we had a chance to meet her backstage. She seems like a very nice young woman. I'm not exactly sure what she does, but I am told that my Twitter mentions are about to go through the roof. Helen Mirren is here tonight. I don't even have a joke here. I just think Helen Mirren is awesome. She's awesome. Sitting at the same table, I see Mike Bloomberg. Mike, a combative, controversial New York billionaire, is leading the GOP primary, and it is not you. That has to sting a little bit. Although it's not an entirely fair comparison between you and the Donald. After all, Mike was a big city mayor. He knows policy in depth, and he's actually worth the amount of money that he says he is. What an election season. For example, we've got the bright new face of the Democratic Party here tonight, Mr. Bernie Sanders. There he is. Bernie, you look like $1 million. Or to put it in terms you'll understand, you look like 37,000 donations of $27 each. A lot of folks have been surprised by the Bernie phenomenon, especially his appeal to young people, but not me. I get it. Just recently, a young person came up to me and said she was sick of politicians standing in the way of her dreams. As if we were actually going to let Malia go to Burning Man this year. Was not going to happen. Bernie might have let her go. Not us. I am hurt, though, Bernie, that you've been distancing yourself a little from me. I mean, that's just not something that you do to your comrade. Bernie's slogan has helped his campaign catch fire among young people. Feel the burn. Feel the burn. It's a good slogan. Hillary's slogan has not had the same effect. Let's see this. Look, I've said how much I admire Hillary's toughness, her smarts, her policy chops, her experience. You've got to admit it, though. Hillary trying to appeal to young voters is a little bit like your relative who just signed up for Facebook. Yeah. Dear America, did you get my poke? Is it appearing on your wall? I'm not sure I'm using this right. Love, Aunt Hillary. It's not entirely persuasive. Meanwhile, on the Republican side, things are a little more, how shall we say this, a little more loose. Just look at the confusion over the invitations to tonight's dinner. Guests were asked to check whether they wanted steak or fish, but instead, a whole bunch of you wrote in Paul Ryan. That's not an option, people. Steak or fish. You may not like steak or fish, but that's your choice. Meanwhile, some candidates aren't polling high enough to qualify for their own joke tonight. The rules were well established ahead of time. And then there's Ted Cruz. Ted had a tough week. He went to Indiana, Hoosier country, stood on a basketball court, and called the hoop a basketball ring. What else is in his lexicon? Baseball sticks, football hats. But sure, I'm the foreign one. That's fine. Well, let me conclude tonight on a more serious note. I want to thank the Washington Press Corps. I want to thank Carol for all that you do. You know, the free press is central to our democracy, and nah, I'm just kidding. You know I've got to talk about Trump. Come on. We weren't just going to stop there. Come on. Although I am a little hurt that he's not here tonight. We had so much fun the last time. And it is surprising. You've got a room full of reporters, celebrities, cameras, and he says no. Is this dinner too tacky for the Donald? What could he possibly be doing instead? Is he at home Eating a Trump steak? Tweeting out insults to Angela Merkel? What's he doing? The Republican establishment is incredulous that he's their most likely nominee. Incredulous, shocking. They say Donald lacks the foreign policy experience to be president. But in fairness, he has spent years meeting with leaders from around the world. Miss Sweden, Miss Argentina, Miss Azerbaijan. And there's one area where Donald's experience could be invaluable, and that's closing Guantanamo. Because Trump knows a thing or two about running waterfront properties into the ground. All right, that's probably enough. I mean, I've got more material. No. I don't want to spend too much time on the Donald. Following your lead, I want to show some restraint. Because I think we can all agree that from the start, he's gotten the appropriate amount of coverage, befitting the seriousness of his candidacy. I hope you all are proud of yourselves. The guy wanted to give his hotel business a boost, and now we're praying that Cleveland makes it through July. As for me and Michelle, we've decided to stay in D.C. for a couple more years. Thank you. This way, our youngest daughter can finish up high school. Michelle can stay closer to her plot of carrots. She's already making plans to see them every day. Take a look. But our decision has actually presented a bit of a dilemma because traditionally presidents don't stick around after they're done. And it's something that I've been brooding about a little bit. Take a look.
The Obamas are staying in D.C. for 2 years after the president leaves office.
He's about to go from commander-in-chief to couch commander.
You, Chuck Todd. What am I going to do in D.C. for 2 years?
You've got a real dilemma, Mr. President.
I can't go every day, can I?
Which you like better, these or these?
Joe, they're the same.
They capture different moods.
Joe, I need some focus here.
Comes in there during aviator time, thinks everything.
I'm sorry, what's that?
I said, Mr. President, that you had to be practical. And look, you can drive again, you're going to need a license. You love sports. Why don't you volunteer to work for one of the teams around here?
Is this the Washington Wizards? I understand you're looking for some coaching help. Let's just say I coached my daughter's team a few times. Hello? Hello?
$44.
Finally. So I'm going to be in D.C. for a while, and I thought I'd take up driving again.
What's the name?
Barack Hussein Obama.
Yikes. Well, since you don't have a driver's license, you're gonna need a birth certificate.
Really?
Really.
It's real.
Is it?
It's real.
But is it?
Oh, Michelle left her phone. Let's see here. Huh. She's got Snapchat. Obamacare is great, and it's really working. Sign up now.
Breaking news.
Michelle Obama in hot water after posting this video earlier today.
Obamacare is great, and it's really working. Sign up now.
Yeah, you ain't seen my best. Checkmate, in a game of chess. Globalists see me as a threat. Free thinking, got the world at my neck, huh? Am I paranoid? Picture Malcolm X in a room full of pigs trying not to bust a sweat. Ayy, Neil Tyson need to loosen up his vest. They probably write that man one hell of a check. Ayy, I'm over here on this side of town. Come on over here, try to clown. Ayy, I never pipe down. If they weren't coming for me, then they definitely coming for me now. I can't even keep my phone charged up. All the shit I'm talking, I should get my home barred up. Rappers, get off of my dick and get your own bars up. Vladimir and Liz's breath got the clone skirt, cuz whoop. Use your common sense. Why is NASA part Department of Defense? They divided up the seas into 33 degrees, feeding kids masonry. Bruh, be careful what you read. Flatline, flatline. There's no superior bloodline. Flatline, flatline. You got me once, but that died. Ayy, voice. Do I have a voice? Do I give a fuck? Do I have a choice? Joint. I roll up a joint. Keep my shooters in the game like I hate to disappoint. I see only good things on the horizon. That's probably why the horizon is always rising. Indoctrinated in a cult called science, and graduated to a club full of liars. Heliocentrism, you were the sixth victim. Fuck you and your team, you can sit on the bench with them, they nervous. But before you try to curve it, do your research on David Irving. Stalin was way worse than Hitler. That's why the POTUS gotta wear a kipper. I'm a man first for an artist. Get a lawyer, look up Dr. Richard Sauter. Bounce, flatline. You fooled us for the last time. Flatline. There's no superior bloodline.
So you want to find the farthest point from that center. And it turns out sea level at the equator is farther away from the center of the Earth than sea level near the poles. It has nothing to do with global warming and melting of the ice caps.
Why is that?
Because Earth, we know it spins once a day. Yes, thank you. 3 people know how long a day lasts here.
Good for row number 2. They're off to a great start.
So you spin, when you spin pizza dough, it kind of flattens out. Yeah. Gets wider in the middle. And so Earth, throughout its life, even when it formed, it was spinning. And it got a little wider at the equator than it does at the poles. So it's not actually a sphere, it's oblate. And officially it's an oblate spheroid. That's what we call it. But not only that, it's slightly wider below the equator than above the equator.
A little chubbier.
Yeah. Chubby's a good word. It's like pear-shaped. Yeah. So it turns out the pear-shapedness is bigger than the height of Mount Everest above sea level.
Bounce, flatline. You fooled us for the last time. Flatline. There's no superior bloodline.